BTS is back, feel the attack.
Thank you, ARMY, for always being there, waiting and giving endless love to Jimin and BTS. Before we dive into this curiosity-filled story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you won't miss any latest updates, subtle clues, or big surprises that may be hidden along the way. Your support is the energy that keeps stories like this alive and deeply felt. It all began with a question that immediately lingered in everyone's mind. Why did this live feel different from the very first second? Jimin didn't appear alone. There were small laughs, brief glances to the side of the screen, and unusual pauses that made the atmosphere feel more tense than usual. There was no major announcement beforehand, no long warning, just a simple notification that sent ARMY rushing into the live. Yet who would have thought that from such a casual moment? A feeling would emerge that something was left unsaid. Something that almost slipped out but was deliberately held back. At the start of the live, everything seemed normal. Jimin smiled and greeted everyone with a gentle voice so familiar to fans, while the presence of his fellow BTS member felt warm and natural. Light jokes flowed, laughter broke out now and then, and the mood appeared relaxed. But that was exactly where the drama slowly began. There were moments when the conversation suddenly stopped, glances that lasted just a little too long, and smiles that seemed to cover something deeper. ARMY began to sense a strange vibration, a feeling that this live was more than just a casual reunion. As time went on, small details started stealing attention. The way Jimin briefly turned his head before answering a question. The way his friend laughed and then covered his mouth as if he almost revealed too much. And sentences that were cut off midway. All of it felt like scattered clues. Just enough to spark curiosity, but never enough to give a clear answer. Was this all coincidence? Or a subtle strategy meant only for those who truly paid attention? In the comment section, ARMY grew restless. Many typed questions, while others could only react with shocked emojis and racing hearts. There was happiness in seeing them together. But at the same time, a sweet uneasiness filled the air. It felt as if Jimin and his friend were gently playing with emotions, inviting everyone into a story that had not yet reached its main chapter. The drama deepened when the topic of conversation shifted ever so subtly. There was no direct mention, no clear confession, yet certain words felt heavier than usual. Words about time, togetherness, and things that will come without ever being clearly explained. The sentences sounded light, but their meaning carried weight. Was this a hint about something being prepared? Or simply feelings that surfaced at the wrong moment? What made the moment even more touching was the chemistry between them. Jimin looked comfortable, yet cautious. There was the warmth of genuine friendship, but also an invisible line that seemed impossible to cross. His fellow BTS member appeared ready to add something several times, only to stop, laugh, and change the subject. These small moments created a quiet drama that felt stronger than any direct statement. For ARMY, moments like this always carry a special kind of emotion, not only because of the longing to see them together, but because every interaction feels meaningful. BTS is more than just a group, and this live felt like a small glimpse into their real lives, where not everything can be shared publicly. And perhaps that is where the secret truly lies. Not in what was said, but in what was intentionally left unspoken. The live continued, and even without a major announcement, the sense of curiosity only grew stronger. It felt as though this live was merely an opening, an emotional warm-up before something bigger appeared. Jimin kept smiling, gentle as always, yet his eyes occasionally looked serious. A contrast that left many ARMY feeling a mix of happiness, hope, and unease. When the live finally came to an end, that feeling still hadn't faded. There was no dramatic closing, no final sentence that explained everything. Instead, the simple goodbye made the impression even deeper. Many ARMY felt as if they were left in the middle of a story, with countless unanswered questions. Was there truly a secret that almost came out? Or was this simply a test of patience for those who continue to wait faithfully? As the hours passed after the live ended, the feeling it left behind refused to fade. Instead of clarity, ARMY were left with echoes, replayed glances, repeated clips, and carefully analyzed moments that suddenly felt more meaningful than they first appeared. The quiet after the live felt loud, as if the silence itself was asking questions no one could yet answer. Why did that pause feel so heavy? Why did that laugh sound slightly nervous? And why did Jimin's expression linger in people's minds long after the screen went dark? Across social media, emotions slowly intertwined. Some fans chose to believe it was simply a warm, playful moment between close friends. Others felt convinced that the live carried hidden layers, emotions wrapped carefully in casual conversation. Neither side was wrong, because what made this moment powerful was not certainty, but connection. The fact that so many hearts were beating in the same rhythm, feeling the same curiosity and anticipation, proved how deeply Jimin's presence resonates beyond words. There was something especially touching about how protective Jimin seemed throughout the live. Even in his smiles, there was a sense of care, as if he was carefully choosing what to show and what to keep safe. That restraint spoke volumes. It reminded ARMY that behind every camera, behind every live broadcast, there are real emotions, real responsibilities, and real stories that cannot always be shared immediately. And perhaps the secret everyone sensed was not a specific announcement, but a moment still growing, still waiting for the right time. The bond between Jimin and his fellow BTS member also felt stronger than ever. It was visible in the way they listened to each other, in the comfortable silences, and in the unspoken understanding that required no explanation. This kind of chemistry cannot be rehearsed. It comes from years of shared struggles, dreams, and trust. Seeing that bond again reminded ARMY of why BTS feels like home to so many people, a place where vulnerability and strength exist side by side. As night turned into morning for fans around the world, one thought remained constant. Whatever is coming next, it will arrive when it is ready, not when impatience demands it. Jimin has always moved at a pace guided by sincerity, and this live felt like another quiet promise rather than a loud declaration. A promise that something meaningful is being protected, nurtured, and prepared with care. Until that moment arrives, ARMY continue to wait not with frustration, but with faith. Because sometimes, the most beautiful stories are the ones that unfold slowly, leaving room for imagination, emotion, and trust. And when the secret finally reveals itself, it will not feel sudden. It will feel familiar, like a feeling we already knew, born from a life that once left us wondering, hoping, and holding our breath together.